Now, Mason, for 10 weeks or so,
Oh, yes.
people have been screaming us. They're saying X-Men 97, etc.
And we said, we're going to ignore you. Maybe we'll watch it. Maybe we'll watch it, but if we do watch it, we'll watch it on our own, on our own steam. You can't tell us what to do.
That's right.
That's right.
And we did, but we're still going to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we just want to.
We just want to.
Yeah. What did you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate.
I do have the streaming numbers. We can talk about it later.
Oh, yeah, great.
But let's do this.
Well, it's the
It's the future.
It's the future of 1997.
Yeah.
And the future of the X-Men cartoon from the early 90s.
Yep.
And but this time around, Mr. Charles Xavier is dead. Charles Francis Xavier.
Pretty funny.
It is funny that he was killed. But he's been killed by Henry Peter Garrick, who's one of them humans, one of those yuck humans we don't like. But the X-Men team, they're carrying on. Mm-hmm. They're carrying on.
God,
like
they're bloody carrying on,
like a bunch of bloody pork chops.
Yeah.
Because there's anti-mutant sentiment, but there's also some mutant sympathy out there, and they're having a time of it. They're in the public eye, and what's going to happen?
What is going to happen?
Yeah, that's right. Fights, powers, zaps, kisses,
robots.
That's right.
This was great.
It's good fun,
I
isn't it?
enjoyed it so much.
I enjoyed it so much. I found it on my own, and I watched it.
Nobody pointed you in the direction?
Nobody pointed me in the direction of it.
I mean, I only have like vague memories of what happened in the original.
Sure,
like I didn't see all of it because it wasn't on every day all the time.
No, sure. I think it quite well encapsulated the X-Men comic, which is to say superhero action, but also soap opera drama.
Absolutely.
And convoluted adventuring, and there's mutants and robots and aliens and time travel and
pouches.
So many pouches.
Yeah. What I was doing some research on the animation of this and the original one. Mm-hmm. And one of the things they found really difficult about the original one was that everybody's so detailed and different. So everyone's got abs and pouches and like capes and hair and and it's all and when you've got somebody running towards the camera or whatever, or
you've got the entire team running towards the camera.
Brutal, man.
Exactly, yeah. It's not a Power Rangers situation where they're all the same but different colors, or a Transformers situation where you've got Optimus Prime in the front and just miscellaneous Transformers in the back, just some blocky dudes in the back,
Exactly. So, what I didn't realize until I'd watched this, that this is 2D animation, like it is all digitized, etc. There are 3D elements in it, like ships and whatnot, but they've slightly simplified the designs, but kind of kept the feel of all of them.
Yes,
I didn't think that I would. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it, but I think the animation in this is great, and the action in particular, it's so dynamic. And you look at something
Shades of Invincible. I think.
I was going to say, if you look at like Invincible, this does action better than Invincible does. I know Invincible's like gorier.
It's it's faster and it's gorier, but it is mostly a bunch of punches.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Invincible, nothing has really topped the Atom Eve special, where Atom Eve is doing all sorts of creative use of her powers. I think this is similar. The team work well together.
It's a little gorier than the original as well.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like Invincible.
No, but we have what I like about it is we have a team who know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they clearly have strategies that they've done before.
They've been together since '92.
That's exactly right. And they're good at bouncing off each other. Sometimes literally. What
I think is also good is the voice actors are old and new. Like the original actor of Cyclops, he passed away, so they got Ray Chase. Jennifer Hale plays Jean Grey, who's played Jean Grey before, but not in the original series.
Right, okay.
Carl Dodd returns as Wolverine. Mm-hmm. Then you got people like AJ Lucasio, who's great. We've chatted a bit through various social medias. He took over. He did Marty McFly. Remember they did that Telltale game?
Yes.
Like one of his early starts was there because he does like an amazing Marty McFly. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you should follow him. He does like Han Solo in a bunch of stuff also. In this? He's Gambit, but the original Gambit, Chris Potter, is now playing Cable. So some of them they've just like shuffled around. And I like that. So they've
some people's voices clearly have aged a little bit, and they're like, "Well, you've aged out of it being a raging Cajun, so you're gonna have to be a time traveling mummy's boy."
Yeah. But yeah, also the AJ Lucasio is like he wears like the Gambit crop top and that he goes to conventions.
Oh,
and that.
okay, right. Cool, that's fun.
Which I like. But yeah, all of that is really good. I think the casting is is really strong, and even the people who were recast, it doesn't feel like this is really jarring. It's just it's, again, not that I remember it like 1-to-1, but it's a very smooth transition.
Yes,
we've talked about this before about movies that kind of update on sequels. It looks how you remember the not that the old one looked bad because it didn't, but it looks how you remember it. Yeah. And the other thing is, I love the designs because they kind of change some of the designs from this and they reflect different eras of X-Men. And I think it's in the final episode, they're wearing the costumes based on that 1989 pilot, Pride of the X-Men. So the Wolverine's in the brown and yellow. And
interesting. Okay, yeah.
There's a black leather joke.
There sure is.
They finally got him, Mason.
Got him, that's true. How do you feel about... I feel like, to me, the downfall of this series is probably the dialogue. Okay. I think it's even though it does reflect quite accurately the original, you know, there always needs to be a little exposition, or there always needs to be... They have to put in their little vocal ticks and catchphrases. You know, every second sentence Gambit does have to refer to somebody as mon ami.
I insist, though.
Yeah.
He has to do it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Rogue's calling everybody sugar, you know, and there's a lot of kind of... You settle into this world, I think.
And absolutely.
Like, you know, and I think for a lot of people that's going to be very nostalgic. Yes. I think that... I'm sure they could have rejigged the dialogue so it's more like... You know, an episode of Netflix Daredevil or whatever it is,
right? Yeah,
you know, but they wanted to keep that,
you
know, the dialogue style.
I was just looking up the showrunner Bo DeMayo, who was fired.
Yeah, he was fired,
but he's done some work on season 2.
Has he?
Yeah, well, already.
Oh, before he got fired.
Yeah, okay, and he's like answering questions people.
Yeah, he's sort of posting through it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe he'll come back on board. I don't know. We don't. No.
We don't know why he got fired.
There's rumors it's an OnlyFans thing. We don't know.
Yeah. But what also, he isn't, from what I can tell on his socials, he's not expressing any animosity towards anybody. He hasn't revealed it. And my feeling, I kind of feel like it might be akin to the James Gunn thing on Guardians.
Okay, right.
Where it is the OnlyFans thing.
Yeah.
Because he has an OnlyFans, supposedly... Disney knew about it before they hired him, but I suspect somebody complained and he got fired. And he's my guess would be he's posting through it and he's decided to not say Marvel sucks and they've done this and it's unfair, blah blah blah, because maybe they'll bring him back. They maybe hire him back, or he did some crook stuff. I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know what it was.
I don't know. We don't know. It's not for me to know.
Anyway, the plot of this it's
they burn through some stories.
They do, don't they?
I mean, they always have. Like, they did Days of Future Past in like 3 episodes.
And I would say if you are familiar with X-Men comics of the 90s, you probably won't be surprised by any of it. It's kind of, a lot of those storylines are in there.
I mean, some do pop up and I'm like, oh, they're doing that.
Yeah, right, yeah.
This is probably more of a spoiler thing that these...
Yeah, we'll talk plot elements, but yeah, if you're familiar with... You know, those particular storylines and a mysterious figure emerges and you're like, who's that? Is it going to be... No, it's the guy you remember from the comic books.
Yeah.
That's the reveal there. It's not going to, you know...
One of the things I like, and you mentioned these characters bouncing off each other, I think they're doing really interesting things, again, like you said, with their powers. Like Cyclops isn't just like blasting people and... Like he's been the leader for a long time. He's had laser eyes forever.
Exactly. It's a beam of concussive force, and what can that do? It's like how does that work with the laws of physics?
I mean, jump out of a plane and survive a fall. I love that. There's a moment, and this is in the trailer, where Gambit charges Wolverine's blades to do Morph's in this.
Morph is in
this. They bring Morph back as a...
He's the most present day guy.
Yeah.
He's
barely in the original.
I'm not being critical.
Or it's like a...
Nightcrawler isn't really in the original either, but he has a pretty prominent role in sort of the latter half.
I saw a thing about there's 3 characters, and one was Nightcrawler, one was Morph. Maybe the other one was Bishop, where people remember them being in it more than they are.
Yeah.
So they wanted to elevate those characters.
Yeah, Nightcrawler was really only in maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the original.
I have no idea. Don't remember. Yeah. It's not for me to say.
It's not.
But yeah, so with Morph can be anybody.
Yeah,
and also take on their powers. It's not just to an extent.
The little, at the end of every episode, you get a little little Windows 95 style clickety click of all the files of all the various X-Men, and you see a little 3D render of them as they we see their powers, and it says that Morph can change shape into anyone and gain their physical attributes.
Okay.
So I think to some extent. So I said, well, I mean, also like just on a power scaling quest, like if he becomes the Blob and becomes literally immovable, what's the point of the Blob?
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like if this is the case, then Morph is the most powerful mutant there is. But I think he can for the most part, like he can. If he becomes the Hulk, he becomes quite strong, but I don't think he becomes Hulk strong.
Yeah, absolutely,
For example, is a thing that might happen.
Hypothetically, we don't know.
We get some some non-mutant cameos in this.
Yep.
Mostly towards the back end.
Should we maybe save those for spoilers?
Save those for spoilers.
Yeah,
if you love cameos, if you love 90s style cameos.
If you love Cameo, also the website.
I do.
Get yourself a Cameo. Send it to a mate for their birthday.
That's right.
What else we got? Should we just do some spoilers? Oh, theme song's great. It's great. It's a great theme song. They should use it in the movies.
Yeah.
I would love to see.
James, they did use it in the movie.
No, but properly. I would love to see not this, but this dynamic of X-Men in the movie.
Sure. Yeah.
Again, not a direct translation of this,
yes,
but the vibe of this and the feel and the colorful cast of characters and just the variety of powers within this unit, and they're all they're good at one thing, but they're really good at that one thing. You know, it's different than the Avengers. It's it's a different feel, and I think there's so much potential here for this to be so interesting in live action.
That's right.
Potential.
Sure.
Potential.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe this is the test bed, as they do from time to time. DC are quite famous for it, I think.
Yep.
Try it out in a less expensive medium, and then if it works, make some bad Zack Snyder movies. You know what I'm saying?
They're not all bad, Mason. Sucker Punch was pretty good. And so was Rebel Moon Part 2.
It wasn't.
The child of his ear.
No, I think you've been hit in the head.
I've never been hit in the head. Anyway, spoilers.
Yeah, I'm going to say best series
best series ever.
Bit of fun.
Check it out. Fun. 10 episodes as well. Some are longer than others.
That's true.
Last one's 42 minutes.
You know what's interesting as well is you might look at the list of episodes and go, 10 episodes. Okay, we'll breeze through that. But they're unlike the original, which would have been 22 minutes an episode. These are 35, 40 minutes.
Settle in.
Settle in, idiots.
Bitch.
That's right. Why are we so rude?
I don't know. I got hit in the head.
Spoilers. Big time spoiler times.
Magnet is back. And he's trouble.
Yeah, because Mr. Magnet. Yeah, Mr. Magnet's back.
And he's like,
he's sexy.
He's sexy now.
Yeah,
and then he was always a bit sexy. He's like, I'm dating Rogue and I'm sexy.
That's right.
And I'm not wearing a helmet because I don't need to anymore.
That's right.
And he's got beautiful long flowing hair.
Because for people who are still listening, even though they haven't seen it, he has inherited the X Mansion and all Professor X's attributes.
Is it a scam?
After he was killed.
Is it a scam? No. Professor X was like, you can do this, I reckon.
That's right.
And he does for a bit. I think my favourite part of this is...
getting his shoulders out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that shoulder?
Ooh, yeah.
No shoulder outfit, but he's got the gloves on.
Ooh, very sexy.
Right. Wearing his briefs later.
Yeah.
Down into his brief. He's flying around the world just in his briefs.
Ooh. I think Magnet's arc in this is my favourite.
You're going to keep doing that?
Yep. Okay. Favourite... just, you don't know what his deal is, and it's no, he's genuinely trying. Oh, you pushed him too far. Now he's going to...
Yeah. I thought it was just an interesting tick where he was constantly being called Magnus in this. So I guess when he's off screen, people would know who they're talking about, because otherwise he's just Eric.
Magnus. That's what Professor X would say it. Magnus. Magnus, no. I'm going to go into your mind. We're going to look at your childhood, Magnus.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it, Magnus. Sorry, Magnet.
Yeah, Magnus.
So some of the comics that they touch on, or just do in their entirety, the Trial of Magnet, E for Extinction, is where they just blow up Geonosia. Probably the best episode. It's got Gambit's death. It's got incredible action. It's got a 3-headed sentinel. Gambit rides a motorbike and he jumps a motorbike.
He throws a motorbike at Rogue. He lights it up and then throws it out. Well, that it is a great episode. Continue on with it.
No, it's fine. We can do this.
I was going to say that most of this series feels to me like they're going to go, we're going to take this in a whole different way. We're going to take this in a whole different continuity. It's not going we're going to do some big things. This isn't going to be the comic book continuity. This isn't going to be the movie continuity. This is going to be a whole thing. And I think that maybe the downfall of this, it's not bad. It's still good. But I kind of feel like the last maybe episode is sort of setting up to be we'll reset the status quo for the next one. Everybody's going to get back to where they were before.
Well, actually, you're right in the sense that I liked that when I thought Professor X was dead, that Magnet was now the head of the X-Men.
That's right.
I really was like, wow, they could just run with this for a long time. And I would have probably preferred, but I don't know, they'll do something else with it.
But actually it turned out Professor X was doing a little deadbeat dad routine. He's going off to get married in space to a space bird lady. Yeah. And he just faked his own death. Yeah. There wasn't really a resolution to how he did it.
No. But he's like, I'm a space guy. And they're like, we don't like you getting married here. And he's like, well, I'm going to break all your minds.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. That was probably, I think, the weakest element of when they cut to space and he's just like, There's a big council. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about any of this.
I enjoyed the appearance of like the Shi'ar Imperial Guard. Or the Gladiator, who's that weird purple-haired mohawked Superman.
Yeah, man.
All the assorted weirdos.
I guess that's all weird stuff that you remember from 90s comics, which
that's
I do
true.
not.
Yeah.
Mojo World was pretty fun. It's a fun arcade homage as well to the Jubilee. Get some playing. Is that Sunspot? Was it Sunspot?
That's Sunspot, yes. Yeah. But no Long Shot, interestingly. Although he appears in one, you know how the opening sequences, they tease little bits and pieces from what's going to happen in the episode and maybe
even
elements,
at the end,
elements of the X-Men's past and stuff.
The card at the end is like blank. Some of the characters aren't on the team yet.
Well, you see Long Shot in one of those, but you don't see him in any of the episodes.
Oh, okay.
So.
There's also Fatal Attractions where they take the adamantium out of Wolverine.
That's right. What's going to happen there?
Yeah.
It's going to go feral.
He's going to have bone claws.
I hope he gets a piggy nose.
You reckon? Mm-hmm. Is that what happened to him in the thing?
No, but I'm hoping. He got no nose. His nose disappeared.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No nose Wolverine. So he's got an adamantium nose.
I guess so, yeah. Cool. They had to replace it and now it's all flopped down, I guess.
And there's also the story where Jean Grey and Scott Summers have a baby, but they have to send their baby to the future because it has a techno virus, but then realize that Jean Grey is actually a clone and there's two Jean Greys. And then so the mother of Jean Grey's, the memories are merged. And one of them's Firehead or Wonder Woman or something. What's one of them called? Magic Lady.
Oh, the Goblin Queen.
Yeah, and then she becomes a different thing.
See, that's one of the dialogue issues I had, where she's like, "Call me the Goblin Queen." Why?
Goblin.
Set that up better.
Yeah?
Oh, she's gobbling up all the evil.
Yeah, and nice. She does the Phoenix.
And then later she's like, call me Madeline Pryor.
Yeah.
Why, though?
Why?
Because of the comics.
Pryor or the X-Men.
Nice. That's an interesting sort of era they skipped a little bit is X Factor.
Yeah.
So in the 80s, they were like, well, let's rebuild the original X-Men team.
Oh.
And so they
it's like Iceman and Angel
and
whatever.
So they had a series called X Factor, and the idea was that they were in public, they were like they were human and they were a mutant hunting team, and people would come and say, oh, you got to hunt down this mutant, he's causing trouble, whatever. But actually, they were the original X-Men team, and they would actually find these guys and help them out, kind of thing.
Nice.
But the problem,
the A-Team.
They were a little bit like the the X Factor A-Team.
Yeah.
But the problem there was that Jean Grey was dead.
Yeah.
In the comic book, so they were just like, nah, she actually was at the bottom of a lake.
Just like in X-Men 3.
Exactly.
The Last Stand.
You thought she died as the Phoenix, but actually she was at the bottom of a lake.
What's she doing?
She was never the Phoenix. Actually, she was at the bottom of a lake.
That's crazy. So she was never the Phoenix.
But then it turned out later they were like, "Nah, let's give her Phoenix powers."
That'd be cool. She did that big bird thing that she does.
That's right.
And Scott's like, Jean! No, Jean!
Hey, Scott, I'm thinking about buying some pants that aren't chinos. What would you recommend? Jean!
Jean?
Yeah, Jean.
One Jean.
A pair of Jean.
Anyway, the villain is Mr. Sinister, but it's not really. It's Bastion.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Oh, Storm loses her powers. That's a good bit. I like that.
Yep, sure.
Storm gets a little arc and she has to reclaim her stuff and whatever.
That's right, yep.
What do you think of Bastion as the main villain? Techno guy. He's like, I was a mutant. Nobody loved me. I didn't go to school.
Yeah, pretty good.
I didn't go to school.
He went to school for a bit.
Yeah, but I could have gone to more
You think
school.
that's why he's evil? Because he didn't go to school enough?
Didn't learn a goddamn thing.
Yeah, that's
should have gone back to school, Rodney Dangerfield style.
That's right. Look, I did enjoy him, but I think the problem with this particular villain is he's one of those villains that's indestructible until he's not.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Until they beat him up.
Yeah,
I did like how they beat him up. I didn't think initially that I liked the idea of human sentinel hybrids because it's like, oh, I love the sentinel design. I just love seeing them tear through like giant sentinels. But there was the bit where they're flying in the sky in the jet and whatever, and I'm like, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I like. And the first I'm like, are they killing all these people? No, they reassemble sort of sometimes.
Yeah.
Unless they were flying in the sky and then they remove the virus and they fall out of the sky. Maybe
some of them are dead. Some are definitely dead. Yeah.
I don't care. It's not my problem.
But also, they were kind of bad people.
They were kind of bad, do you reckon?
Some of them were bigots and stuff.
Oh, yeah, were bigots and stuff. Yeah. I don't know anything about Bastion from, like, the comics. That is not...
I mean, that's pretty much the whole
area.
thing. Yeah, he's the son of Nimrod.
The Green Day album.
The Green Day album, that's right, exactly. A human woman made love to a Green Day album.
CD or cassette?
Cassette?
Whoa, no wonder he's all fucked up.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, here's some of my highlights. Magnet's arc, as mentioned. Love that.
Good arc for all Magnets there.
Death of Gambit.
Mickey Magnets.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's
we'll
the thing.
Come back to that.
But I think, post-credits. We're going to talk about a post-credits.
The attack on Geonosia is mentioned.
A post-Calypse credits.
Yes. The bit where Magnet's fighting him, he's like whipping him with the train.
Oh, yeah.
Loved
cool.
all of that. Rogue, when she just tossed away Captain America's shield.
That's a bit of fun.
Because you know he would have had he had a hard time fighting that.
That's right.
Even if he's got a tracker in it, I assume, but if he went and got that on foot.
Like ages. That's up in the mountains.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And how far into that mountain, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It might be the Retrieve shield. I don't know.
It didn't look like it. No.
I thought that was
I think
fun.
if it were, Rogue would look at it and go, if looks like it might be a Retrieve shield, she would have done something else.
Yeah.
She would have
just bent.
Yeah, she would have bent it in half. Exactly. Yeah.
And there's fun cameos. There's Daredevil, Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Black
Cloak
Panther,
and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Silver Samurai's in it.
Iron Man in his 90s suit
Yeah.
from the Marvel Superheroes game.
Now, some of these are linked to other cartoons and some aren't. I can't remember what the continuity is, but yeah, it was great seeing Daredevil. I'm like, God damn, Daredevil. That's cool. Just seeing, like, what does Daredevil look like in this universe? And he's probably been in it before.
Right.
So what a way. I just missed that. Also, it was confirmed, where Wolverine's dying at the end and Morph changes into Jean Grey and he goes, I love you, Wolverine. Mm-hmm. That was apparently Morph expressing Morph's feelings for Wolverine. Non-binary character, by the way. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
In the 1997s?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I like it when a show's good at, like, so good that people can't be like, it sucks because it's woke. It's just like, well, it's just really good though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's,
One thing I thought was interesting is that the Black Panther of the time was T'Chaka, not T'Challa.
Oh, okay.
And you know what's? I think something has happened at Marvel where they're like, we cannot use T'Challa again in anything.
For now, at least.
Because Chadwick Boseman died.
Until his son grows up in the movie.
And becomes T'Challa again because his son's name is T'Challa.
T'Challa again.
And I've fallen into a time vortex and now I'm just adult T'Challa
into a time vortex.
He could, is what I'm saying.
Couldn't he?
That's a free idea, Marvel.
Yeah, cool.
Which I think is odd because they've never done that with any other characters before, I don't think.
No, they're just doing that legacy, man.
I think it's odd. Like, you shouldn't erase that character because...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nobody owns a character.
That's right.
Except for Stan Lee, who died.
That's true.
Yeah. Post-credits, so they all get split up. Some go to the future, some go to the past, some don't do anything. Some
Think that was Magnet's fault?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Magnet.
Yeah.
You know what he's always up to.
Yeah, probably.
I like how he's doing magnet stuff, and I'm like, that book must have a magnet in it. I don't know what he's doing. He's moving everything.
Right, yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
So they go to the future and Jean Grey, whatever.
They meet a young... They meet a
young Cabal.
Yes.
You enjoying this?
It's good. They meet a young version of their son, but older than when they left him.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's in the year 3900 or something.
Cool.
And some of the X-Men go back in time to the 3000 BC where they meet a young, sexy Apocalypse.
And
His Apocalypse. See those lips?
Yeah, oh, yeah. They've met him before, though.
But as regular Apocalypse,
But do they know his origin?
Yeah, they were like, did you see that look?
Yeah.
Rogue and bloody...
They were like, let's kill this guy.
Yeah, we'll kill him now, actually.
Well, I don't know how the timeline works in this, right? Well, we know Bishop went through a portal with a baby and then dropped it immediately.
That's true.
Bishop, you fucking idiot. What are you doing? Hold on to the baby, man.
Yeah.
Well, apparently season 2 is still in the animatic stage. This is probably at least 2 years away, I would say.
Sure.
At this point. But then again, like a lot of the elements they've already built, and all that.
True, yeah.
And,
initially, when they were like, "Oh, perhaps we haven't ended up. They haven't gone somewhere in space. They've gone somewhere in time." I was initially thought, "Are they going to just send them to the present day?"
Oh, okay, right.
But they
just skip all of that. Well, it's cheaper if you film things in the modern day.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So Gambit's died, but he's not dead, really.
No.
Apocalypse is going to bring him back as death, probably, and then he's going to be like, "Let's get all the death out of you," and then he'll just be regular Gambit again.
I guarantee.
I guarantee it, mon ami.
Yeah. Got some reviews here.
Okay.
Some of these from great mates.
Okay.
This is from Darren Leslie Jr. who says, loved it. One of the most
What does Darren Leslie Sr. think, though?
I don't know. It doesn't say. One of the most stressful episodes of television I have viewed in a while. Just a fantastic finale that goes out on emotion and action. And what a treat for 90s Marvel animation fans. Can't wait for more. Alex Funder says, starting out, I love the coming out scene with Charles and Eric. Felt super authentic. The action in this episode was incredible. Some of the fights and power-ups reminded me of the anime in a great way. Love that Wolverine wasn't a savior in it. Yeah, he's not like the main guy. I think I'm just used to Wolverine being like the main character.
That's right.
And he's not, and I like that a lot. But so many other mutants got their time to shine. Those cliffhangers are incredible. Time travel shenanigans, here we go. I don't need any more live-action superhero shows, just more of this quality animation. Well, you're going to get both.
Eventually.
Yeah. Russell Michaels
You're going to get this and you're going to get some crap.
That's right.
And you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Like back in the old days, like back in the 90s.
Eat it up.
Whatever dregs we got, we'd take it.
Eat it up. Russell Michaels on Twitter says, #WeeklyPunterPod. X-Men 97 is not as good as the original series, but it is still very enjoyable. Binged the OG last night. Bishop should have kept the mullet perm. Agree. Hard agree. Magnet, good, just to be evil again was dumb. Rogue and Magneto stuff, while comics based, just gross. Best movie ever.
Oh, I thought the voice actor for Forge was very good.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't know if I don't know. I don't really remember how much play Forge got in the original series, but I thought that guy was good. Cool. Good understated performance. Bit of fun.
Bit of fun.
Good work.
And he's got robot parts.
He does have robot parts.
And Braden Cooper says, I never watched the original X-Men cartoon, but this was incredible. I did watch Spider-Man. I was happy with the small resolution to that cliffhanger. I still want a successor, though. I don't know what that means. Didn't that show end on a cliffhanger? We did talk about it.
Which one?
Spider-Man, this animated 90s something. They were going to go to time travel or something.
Time travel? That's so dangerous.
I agree. Yeah, check it out, man.
Check it out, man.
Oh.
That's the highest recommendation we can bestow.
Definitely.
Check it out, man.
I also got some streaming numbers here. So in 2024, this is the share of Disney original series viewership. This comes in fourth. So it's X-Men 97 at 6.8%. At 11.8% is Echo.
Okay, yeah, that's done quite well, yeah.
Yeah, 23.3% is Percy Jackson.
Okay.
And 33% is Other.
Red Notice?
Yeah, it says Red Notice.
Wow.
So it's above The Bad Batch. It's above Ahsoka Season 1. It's above Mandalorian Season 3. I mean, then again, some of these shows aren't from this year.
Right.
But, yeah, it's doing pretty well. And I think just having it sit here for a couple of years is, with the original series, not going to hurt either. So...
And again, I think maybe the proof here is it's to prove if you don't get the thing every year,
yes,
you build anticipation for it. You know
Absolutely,
what I mean?
Yeah. And you got to get something every year.
Yeah, yep. Really.
Even if it's just a birthday card from your nan.
Oh, it's so true.
My nans, they're all dead. Yeah.
Wow. We'll have to get you something else then.
Anyway, in more good news, we got to move it along.
Okay, all right.
What are we going to do, though?
We're going to do what are we going to do? James, stop talking.
Gene!